The next guy started off in recruitment, then he got his Bored Ape, and now he's growing an NFT company. His name is Stephen from Beyond Dreams LLC company. Hey, Steve, thank you so much for joining us today. And how are you doing?
I'm doing really well, Zach. Thanks for having me here. I appreciate the time and enjoying it so far. Thanks again.
What is that skull crusher behind you?
That is one of our Mecharcade mechs, one of the 17 generative 3D assets that we're dropping on December 12th. So we're excited. Been a long process to get where we are. And, we actually just launched our website and opened our Discord and everything up today to where we're really starting our push and, getting the product out there in front of people.
That's awesome, man. I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions about that, but first I'm going to roll back a bit and kindly ask you to give everyone your journey into NFTs. So how did all of this begin for you?
Yeah, so in 2013, a good friend of mine, Dutch Boyd, told me first about Bitcoin. It was about 60 bucks a coin. I didn't listen. About 3 years later, in 2016, I finally listened and made my first purchase when Bitcoin was a little under 600. Kind of steady used that and accumulated cryptocurrencies to where, the start of this year, NFTs started popping off, and being in the space, I saw some influencers that I respected kind of mention them and, started minting them on my own. One of the first projects I got into was actually on Cardano, Space Buds. I minted those. And then that same great friend, Dutch Boyd, was like, you got to look at these apes. They're the next big thing. So I went, and that same day, the floor was about 0.4, but it was the day really they sold out. And I bought 5 right away and, kind of aped into the club and have been a member since. And then just steady been following the space, seeing where it's gone, and, obviously minted a ton of things along the way and been involved with the community.
So obviously, as it relates to NFTs, communities is a huge part of it, right? Can you express why communities are important as it relates to NFTs?
Yeah, I think it's important for a few reasons. I mean, one, people have mentioned it before, but I think this space is one of the most welcoming communities there is. We know to grow this space, we have to be welcoming and friendly with everyone and give them that information to make it make sense. And that's one of the hardest things to do. And I think these NFT projects that have done well at bringing in kind of newcomers and showing them the ropes, as it's a little complicated still. Obviously people are making it easier and easier, but I think that community aspect and feeling a part of it just makes it so much easier to kind of stay in that Discord and, stay involved with it. And you feel that ownership, when you have an NFT, you physically own it. Now I'm a Bored Ape, with people like Post Malone, it's insane. And if you said that 6 months ago, you never thought of that, but it's almost like, I think one of the best ways to describe these NFT communities is it's like a country club. You're joining to be a part of that club. And then if you want to sell your rights to that, you can and move on to a new community. It's really, open source, assets that have more than just the picture. It's a community, and that's what it's all about. And that's what our project's all about. We want to build a community where whether you've minted 100 projects or this is your first one, that you can come in, learn, and be a part of it from the start.
So talk about your project now. I'm super excited to hear about how you guys got inspired to create the Mecharcade and also the Dream Studio.
Yeah, so Neon Dream Studios is just kind of our parent company. We want to be non-anon. We want people to know who we are so that they can, I think that's something that some projects fail at is, not being upfront and proud of what they are, but we're super proud of all the hard work we've put in. So we want to make sure that, we're bringing, those people into the space to be big on it. So it's, Neon Dreams was the parent company. We have other projects coming, but then Mecharcade came about because Dutch Boyd's wife found 2 amazing Brazilian artists on Reddit. They just released their stuff the same day. We went and bought it all out because we fell in love with these 3D characters that what ended up being Gabriel, who created in Brazil. 22-year-old kid who makes this amazing artwork. So we actually reached out and we're like, hey, what if we could help you make a 10,000 NFT generative drop come on board with us. We want you to be equal partners in this whole business opportunity, and basically brought in a talented team, him and his brother Gustavo, to build these mechs. And then we've helped with the back end to kind of create the asset pool. He did this all through Unity. So we have, back end coding that's going to randomly generate these to where everybody's going to get a unique asset that, is as rare based on what you kind of the luck of the draw get.
That's so fascinating, man. I really appreciate you explaining that. Can you kindly express how you feel, right, that the NFT market is changing the job market as a whole, especially from your background in recruiting and stuff like this?
Yeah, I think you're seeing a lot of skill sets transfer to this, space because, it pays well. It's very competitive because everybody wants the top talent. There's a lot of picking from other projects and trying to get, people on board. I mean, the obvious thing is artists. I mean, if you're an artist and not doing NFTs, you're doing a disservice, because one of the problems with being a traditional artist is when you release your art, you lose ownership of that. If somebody resells it down the road, you don't get any residual income from that. So to not get on the blockchain and get that to where you can get a kickback every time you sell something is, in my opinion, just silly as an artist to not get in. So I feel every traditional artist eventually will get into this space. But then when you get into more, traditional jobs, obviously anybody with strong development, skills and coding, there's a space for them in this industry. Everybody's still learning this, but, the Solidity smart contracts, if you have knowledge of that, I mean, you can command insane dollars to help create smart contracts in that. And then one of the most important positions to us that we filled is, a community manager. Communities are everything. Some of these Discord communities have been hacked and, money stolen from the community. So community managers, people that have a strong, skill set in Discord. I thought I knew Discord, but then you talk to these community managers and the features and the capabilities of Discord is just out of this world, to where you'd never think that somebody who's just strong at community kind of management and Discord could command, up to 6 figures for some of these projects, to just literally be on a computer and, managing people and making sure, all these NFT projects want to have a safe and inclusive, group of people in their area. So it's crucial to have that community manager kind of taking care of that. And it's a job where, as a co-founder, we don't have enough time to keep eyes on that. So we need to hire somebody to constantly be there and make sure that nobody's doing anything that, we don't approve of. It's like I said, we want to be a welcoming community to where anybody can come in and feel safe and learn about NFTs and this whole space in itself.
That's fantastic, man. I really appreciate you saying that, and I appreciate you joining today. Is there any final words that you would like to say, or even to plug your business just before you go?
Yeah, obviously, we'd love you to check out Mecharcade.com. I think the biggest thing I can say about this space is, kind of what we've said before. It's welcoming. Do your own research. There's so many things out there to kind of learn and grow in this space. Everybody starts from zero. So get on YouTube, get on Twitter, get on Discord, join groups and be active. That's the best way. I get friends all the time asking, what should I buy? What should I do? And I always just steer them that way, that, it's the eye of the beholder. You need to get in there, immerse yourself in the space. And luckily it's welcoming. We know we need everybody to kind of understand that. And without that, nobody's going to be successful. So, I think that's the biggest advice. Just do your research. There's so many good people out there that have great things to share with you, and just do your research and get out there.
Awesome, man. Really appreciate you joining. And if anybody would like to get in contact with Stephen, use the links in the description below. Enjoy the rest of your day, Stephen.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time, Zach, and everybody enjoy the podcast. It was great hearing everybody talk. Thanks again for what you're doing.
Thank you so much, buddy.